The sun had barely risen when the guard's whistle echoed through the steel gate. Armin tightened the strap of his old leather belt and wiped the sweat forming on his forehead, even though the morning breeze was still cool. Another long day, another shift as the security guard at a giant corporate building he could never afford to enter. But today, something was different. It all began at 8:13 a.m. sharp. A black luxury car rolled slowly toward the gate, its polished surface reflecting the morning sky. This was not just any car. Everyone in the building knew who it belonged to. The CEO. The woman who owned everything inside those walls. But as the car approached, Armin stepped in front of it. His heart pounded like a drum in his chest, but his feet wouldn't move. He raised his hand, signaling the car to stop, and the driver lowered the window. "What's wrong?" he barked, irritated. Armin's voice trembled. "Sir, I need to check the passenger list." It was absurd. No one ever checked the CEO's car. No one dared. But Armin had a reason. He'd made a promise to his 8-year-old daughter, Ariba, that he would protect people, that he would always do what's right even when it's hard. The backseat window slowly came down, revealing the CEO, her perfectly styled hair and sharp eyes. Her name was Sarah Malik, a woman whose signature could change lives. "Move," she said coldly, "or you'll lose your job." But Armin stood still. The world around him seemed to pause. Behind the CEO, in the shadow of the back seat, was a face he recognized. His breath caught. The passenger in the car wasn't just anyone. It was his ex-wife, the woman who had walked out on him and their daughter 5 years ago without a single goodbye. Ariba had spent nights crying into his chest, asking, "Papa, why didn't Mama come back?" Now she was here. In the CEO's car. And Armin couldn't understand why. The CEO leaned forward. "Do you know her?" she asked, noticing the shock in his eyes. Armin swallowed hard, his hands tightening at his sides. "Yes, she's my daughter's mother." The driver snorted. "What are the odds?" But Sarah Malik's expression shifted. This wasn't just a routine stop anymore. The ex-wife, Nadia, stepped out of the car hesitantly. She wore an expensive dress, perfume that carried memories, and a guilt that painted her face. "Armin," she whispered, "I need to talk to you." The security team around them exchanged uneasy glances. No one knew what was happening, but everyone felt the weight in the air. Sarah crossed her arms, intrigued now. "5 minutes," she said, giving them space. Armin's mind raced. Years of pain flashed before him, raising Ariba alone, skipping meals so she could eat, fixing her school uniform with trembling hands, working double shifts to pay her school fees. And now, the woman who left had the nerve to stand here. "Why are you here?" he asked, his voice breaking. Nadia's eyes filled with tears. "Because I was wrong. I was young. I was scared. And now, I've found out the truth. I'm sick, Armin. I don't have much time left. I want to see my daughter before." The ground seemed to slip from under his feet. Anger burned inside him, but so did the ache of all the years his little girl had asked for her mother. He clenched his fists, torn between rage and heartbreak. "You left us," he said, his voice trembling. "You don't get to just walk back." Nadia fell to her knees right there on the pavement. The CEO and her driver watched silently, realizing this wasn't just a security issue, it was a lifetime of wounds unraveling. At a gate, Sarah Malik stepped forward slowly, something soft in her usually cold eyes. "Armin, she's telling the truth," she said quietly. "She came to see me because she wants to secure your daughter's future. She has a trust fund. She wants to make sure Ariba never suffers like you did." Armin froze. Nadia nodded through her tears. "I can't undo what I did. But I can make sure our daughter has a better life than we ever did." Silence. Only the sound of the morning breeze brushing through the iron gate. His heart hurt. He wanted to hate her. But when he imagined Ariba's smile, the way she used to say, "Maybe Mama will come back one day," he knew this moment would shape her life forever. "I'll let you see her," he finally whispered, tears pooling in his eyes. Nadia broke down completely. The CEO turned away, giving them privacy. For a woman who had spent years at the top of the world, this moment struck something real in her. The following days changed everything. Armin arranged for Nadia to meet Ariba. At first, The little girl hid behind him, unsure. But when she saw her mother crying, whispering "I'm sorry" over and over, she slowly reached out her small hand. That touch shattered the years of distance between them. Nadia spent the last few months of her life making memories with her daughter. She left behind a future Ariba would never have to fear. The CEO, moved by the courage she saw that morning, offered Armin a better job, not because he was a guard, but because he had shown strength, honesty, and heart. And the day Nadia passed away, Ariba whispered to her father, "Papa, Mama came back. Just like I always believed." Armin held her tight, whispering, "Yes, my love. She did." Sometimes, life brings us to the gate of everything we've buried deep inside. And when we face it with courage, miracles walk right through. If this story touched your heart, don't scroll away. Like the video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe for more real stories that remind us family, forgiveness, and love can rewrite any ending, because sometimes, the most powerful moments begin at the gate.